Hey, what's up? Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss the 1997 20th Century Fox feature film Home Alone 3. So this stars Alex D. Linz. We talked about him in a couple of reviews for Home Alone. I love Home Alone 3. It has kind of nothing to do with Home Alone 1 and 2, except the fact that a kid is left home alone and he has to deal with burglars. But a lot of people forget that Scarlett Johansson is in this. Scarlett plays Alex's older sister. And a lot of people forget that she was a kid actress, and then she grew to be an adult actress. We now know her as Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow, and a lot of people forget that she's been acting since she was a kid. So it's cool seeing her in '97 playing this teenager, and then the 23 years it's been since this film. So I really wish Alex continued to act. I know he's done a bunch of different stuff like with science and teaching. And I know he stopped acting a while ago, but he's a great actor. Like, I love him as an actor. He's really great. It's pretty interesting though, because he's the star, he's the main actor in this movie, right? Alex D. Linz. Home Alone 3 starring Alex D. Linz. Imagine what his career would have been like now, 23 years later, if I'm comparing it to Scarlett Johansson playing his older sister in this film from 23 years ago, and now she's this worldwide phenomenon. So I don't know, it's in an old universe, Alex is ruling the world. So this movie takes place in the same suburb of Chicago as Kevin McAllister's family lives in. An old Tudor house is prevalent in this film as well, an old Tudor style house. Kevin's family lives on Washington Street in this suburb of Chicago. Alex Pruitt's family lives on Lincoln Street in this suburb of Chicago. So it's still Chicago, it's still a suburb of Chicago, it's still a Tudor house with Christmas decorations, but there's no technical McAllister Pruitt connection. Okay, so the movie starts out in North Korea, Hong Kong. There's this group of criminals who are being instructed by this North Korean agent to obtain this military chip from the Air Force, the U.S. Air Force, so that way they could, take over the weaponry and stuff, right? So the chip is placed in this remote control car by these 4 international criminals, and they have to get it through security, right? Through the airports as this car. So in San Francisco, there's a mix-up where an older woman grabs a bag thinking it's hers, but it's not, and the toy car is missing, so then the criminals have to figure out which flight it's going on. They realize it's going to Chicago. The 4 criminals go to Chicago, the suburb of Chicago. They track the woman down through the taxi service, figure out it's on the street somewhere. So they have to find the toy car to find the chip. In the process, Alex D. Linz's character is homesick with chickenpox. So he's scoping out the neighborhood with his telescope while everybody's at work and school, and he notices certain weird activity. People are talking like this in their sleeves, and people are going like this, and he's like, what's going on? So then he realizes that this woman has a dog that actually belongs to his friend, that the dog was kidnapped, and that obviously is the dog. So he calls the cops twice. Cops don't believe him, didn't find a burglar in any house, so Alex takes it into his own hands. He plays the character of Alex. He has the toy car with the chip in it that Mrs. Hess, the old woman, gave to him as payment for shoveling her driveway. She lives across the street from him. And he puts a camera to the car and scares the criminals, and then they realize that he's the one that they have to take care of because he's the one who has the car and they need the chip that's in the car. So then he booby traps his house, traps 2 of them in a pool, and has one of them trapped in a basement, and the main guy escaped, but then he hid out in an igloo out back, and then the brother's bird, lights a match, and then fireworks go off, and then the FBI basically come and take all 4 of them away. So it's neat having the different booby traps. It's neat having Alex's character come up with his own pranks, as Kevin McAllister came up with his own pranks. Not pranks, but traps, booby traps. But the difference between Kevin and Alex is Alex had a rat and a parrot to help with this stuff, to help be part of this stuff. Kevin didn't have a pet to do any of that in New York and in, the suburb of Chicago originally. So it's just a fun film. And I think what I love the most about it is that John Williams doesn't do the music for this. And I know, how dare I say that, right? But John Williams did the music for Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. So to have him not do Home Alone 3 and have just a complete soundtrack of punk, 90s punk alternative music as like borderline ska music. This was probably ska music now that I think about it. This is punk ska music as a soundtrack throughout the entire thing. It just gave it a completely different international criminal, versus kid in the house feel. Completely different than Home Alone 1 and 2, which are great films, but this one is great in its own front. So, like I said, there's no technical connection between everything. There's no overlap. It is called Home Alone 3. It is part of the Home Alone franchise, but like, it's an awesome film, and I need everybody to stop hating it because it's awesome. Alex, wherever you may be, wherever you are, thank you for acting as a kid. I think you're my age. You inspired so many kids my age, our age, to pull pranks, to do all these different things. You as Max Keeble is another thing, and I'm about to go watch that basketball movie you're in, that DCOM Hanukkah film. What the hell is it called? Miracle on the Court, or Full Court Miracle, something like. I gotta watch it because you're in it, because you're awesome, right? I hope you're doing well. You are smart. You are kind. You are important. Don't forget that, Alex. All right. To everybody else, Merry Christmas. Happy future Hanukkah, whenever that may be. And yeah, on to Full Court Miracle. There we go. That's the name of the movie. We're gonna watch it next. Okay. Mucho mahalo.